So call me crazy, but I got on a bit of a Naruto craze lately. I mean, can you blame me? Freaking legendary show, legendary games, especially the Storm ones, but it got me thinking. How did the Naruto games evolve and turn into these grand battle sequences and cool-ass QTE events? In order to figure that out, I had to go Marty McFly style back in my time machine and play every single Naruto game on the PS2 to see how the Naruto games progressed into what they are today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the first game on our list, Naruto Ultimate Ninja. Naruto Ultimate Ninja was released back on the PS2 in Japan on October 23, 2003, while getting a North American and European release 3 years later in 2006. Now, while this wasn't the first Naruto game ever released on the PS2, that title goes to Uzumaki Chronicles, which, unfortunately, we'll cover later. This is the first Naruto 2D fighting game on the PS2. The Ultimate Ninja series was developed by CyberConnect, you know, the guys that made the Storm series. Something about their intro in the game's startup, gets me hyped every time. Getting into the game itself though, you have a variety of modes available to you when you start up the game, accompanied by the classic anime character telling you about each mode upon selection.
Please select a mode. Play through, complete various missions and earn money.
Do you guys miss this? I kinda miss it too. I mean, sometimes it can get annoying, but whatever, it's classic.
Various settings and view scrolls, believe it!
But, first thing we gotta do here is go over to Naruto's house, adjust the settings, and change the language to Japanese.
Adjust volume and sound output settings, believe it!
I'm sorry, but if I have to hear "believe it" one more time, I'm gonna punch Naruto in the face. Believe it. You guys remember when he would say that every 2 seconds? God, that got annoying.
Believe it! Believe it! Believe it! So believe it! Then believe it! I can't believe it!
Anyway, let's get right into scenario. Probably the mode I'm going to be spending the most time in. You can play through Naruto's, Sasuke's, Sakura's, Kakashi's scenarios, and more right through the get-go. I chose to play through Naruto's first, and damn, I gotta say, I freaking love this manga panel art style. Like, damn. I know the PS2 was dealing with some underpowered hardware compared to today's standards, but this kind of style is exactly the right way to compensate for it. Just based off this intro alone, it feels like they could release this today and I wouldn't really complain because of how cool this turned out. The character portraits are also super expressive and lifelike, and change accordingly to the dialogue that's being read. This was seriously ahead of its time, I gotta say. Every line is fully voice acted as well, which is always a huge plus from me. There's a serious attention to detail here, and it shows. After the battles, your opponent looks all beaten and battered. Like, guys, this is a PS2 game released in 2006. Are you serious with this? Some Naruto games today don't have this attention to detail. Christ. The battles themselves are really cool as well. You fight in this 2D plane with ninja tools that you can pick up during battle and use against your enemy. Then, you have different ninjutsu to use at your disposal, like one of your combos chaining into Naruto's classic sexy jutsu. That's everyone's favorite jutsu, I mean, come on guys. There are even support characters that call to you, giving you specific items, and can even jump into battle with a support attack if you get a support attack item. You can also jump between two different planes within the stages, the foreground and the background, which adds a bit more variety into the combat. You can wall run and flip off, throw shuriken, but the best part of this game are the ultimate jutsus. These things are just an absolute joy to watch, with count them, 3 differing levels of ultimate jutsus that you can use. Part of the fun for me with this game was making sure I did all 3, just to see all the types of ultimate jutsu you could do in this game. While performing an ultimate jutsu, you have to hit buttons in sequence in a timely manner in order to see the next part of the technique. So I'm sitting there going, square, triangle, X, X, circle, triangle, feeling like I'm weaving hand signs, chanting, Tora Inu. Anyway, but then you succeed and go on to the next part of your technique. It's so cool to watch. With Naruto's level 2 ultimate, you'll even see the progression of him summoning Gamabunta. The first part of the technique starts off with him summoning a little tadpole, then a toad, then Gamabunta himself if you can get that far. And this is all just for one level of the ultimate jutsus. That's not considering the other two that he has, or that's not considering Sasuke's or Kakashi's. CyberConnect 2 really outdid themselves here, and it's no wonder they're the masters of anime games being made nowadays. The one thing I'll say is, since when did doing Sasuke's ultimate give him a sword? What? Still cool though, I guess. I'm not really complaining. After going through each of the fights and completing a few scenarios though, it seems like this game very loosely followed the story within the anime. Just look at this. Why is the third Hokage talking about Naruto when we're clearly past the point in the story where he's supposed to be dead? Then here, during Neji's storyline, after Neji defeats Naruto, why the hell does the instructor have silver hair? Are we in some sort of alternate universe where Naruto actually gets defeated by Neji? What is going on? It can be refreshing though, since in Neji's storyline, when you fight Naruto, and when you beat him in battle, you actually defeat him. There's no BS, yeah, you beat him in battle, but Naruto still got the upper hand post-cutscene type stuff. But it can be a bit confusing when things like the silver-haired instructor show up. Maybe it is some sort of alternate reality, who freaking knows? Either way, you unlock a few characters by going through story mode, but the really cool unlocks are locked behind mission mode. In mission mode, you have varying difficulties of missions from S rank to practice. Each mission has conditions that you have to complete within the battles you're fighting, like defeating the enemy within 30 counts. And with how freaking long it takes to kill someone in this game, these health bars are way too beefy. A level 3 ultimate does maybe a quarter of a health bar, and they can be really difficult to get all the way through. And this is a D rank mission, by the way. But I gotta say, the unlocks are worth it. One-tailed Naruto if I complete all B rank missions? Pfft, bring it on. Curse mark Sasuke if I become a Chunin? Hell, I'll become the damn Hokage. 10-year-old me would have flipped my shit. Hell, adult me is flipping shit right now. This is the only Ultimate Ninja game that has stage unlocks, and while they're nothing too special, some stages do have some nice attention to detail and cool Easter eggs that you can find if you really pay attention. And functionally, they work well enough. This goes for all the Ultimate Ninja games, so this is the last I'll be talking about the stages for the sake of succinctness. Oh, that's a big word for me. Finally, the last thing we need to mention is the shop. You can spend the money you earn from battles and such here for collectibles like figurines, video and voice data, and blanks. Lots and lots of blanks. And every time you get a blank, freaking Konohamaru,
外れ引いちゃってんすこれまた外れだぞこれ方向キー何が出るんだこれ
Konohamaru, if you don't Okay, I think I've had enough of this one. Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2 was initially released on the PlayStation 2 on September 30th, 2004 over in Japan, and released 3 years later, mid-2007 here in North America. So pretty much exactly a year between Ultimate Ninja 1 and this one. Pretty impressive considering how many changes were made between the two games. This one actually has a different quote with the CyberConnect intro. Ooh, So cool. But before we get into that, you know the drill, boys and girls. Naruto's house, Japanese. Okay, here we go. So the modes have been dumbed down a bit compared to the previous game. You have Ultimate Road, which is the equivalent of Scenario in Ultimate Ninja, Versus Duel, Training, Naruto's house, and the shop. Let's just jump right into Ultimate Road and see what the story's like in this one. Whoa. Okay, so they went for actually presenting the story within the engine in this one. I'm a little sad they got rid of the manga-style paneling just because of how freaking cool that was, but overall, I much prefer an overworld than just going from battle to battle, since that keeps me much more engaged within the game. Yeah, what can I say? I just love a good overworld. Oh my god. What in God's... Naruto? Are you okay? Why is his left eye like that? It looks slightly off-center, like he has like a little lazy eye going on. You know what, anyways. Definitely a bit of a downgrade compared to the full-fledged portrait models that were so expressive previously. But again, since they went with an overworld for the story with this one, I'm just gonna let it slide. But this I cannot let slide. Why is Naruto running around like an asshole? Are you guys seeing this? He should be running around with the ninja run, with his hands behind his back, not whatever this is. After getting over how Naruto runs in this game though, it's actually really good. You get to play as different characters throughout the story, instead of just the same character throughout a scenario. One weird thing though is that the story for this one starts right before the Neji fight. Not sure why they chose to start there specifically, but I can imagine you'd be a bit confused if you picked up this game without ever having seen Naruto. That was true for the other one too, but it didn't really follow the story of the original anyway, and it was just battle to battle, so it didn't really matter. Regardless, this is a really impressive overworld. Every single character is voice acted, even the minor no-name characters. Again, for a PS2 game, this must have been unreal. Some PS3 games didn't have minor NPC characters voice acted.
あのさ、この写真の人見たことない？
ああ、この人だったら見たぜ。
It's honestly super surprising. Granted, the world is really small, but they didn't have to voice act every single line in the game, and the fact that they did is much appreciated. You can even see other genin wandering around in the overworld, and if you talk to them, they'll challenge you to a battle, or maybe even a mini-game, like this handstand race against Guy. But oh my god, the controls for this are... they feel harder than actually doing a handstand, I swear. I'm not even kidding, this isn't even a bit. One part of the mini-games that I do love though, is the music. Friggin' Whew, who was in the CyberConnect studio bumping this? This one also trickles out unlocks at a very decent pace, so by playing the story you always feel like you're progressing in other places as well. Unfortunately though, the story is pretty short-lived as it ends after the Tsunade retrieval arc, and with it starting right before the Neji fight, you can imagine how short the story mode really is. There does seem to be some post-game content in there though, so that's a small saving grace to the story mode being so short at least. As for the battles themselves, support characters make a return, except in this game, you actually get to select who you want as your support character. Previously, they were just selected for you. They've also added an extra ninjutsu move in this game that you can perform by pressing up circle or down circle, which was not true for the previous entry. You also do way more damage in this game than previously, which, thank God. It makes the battles feel much faster paced and way less of a slog. The multi-leveled ultimates are back as well, and they're still cool as ever. They didn't change much of the ultimate jutsus from previous games, but really that's my only complaint within the combat. Everything else has been improved upon and feels like a real upgrade. Though, they didn't give Shizune an ult, which I'm a little disappointed by, but she sucks as a character anyway, I guess. Whoa, who said that? They also got rid of missions in this game, at least from the start menu. They instead have to be accessed from within Ultimate Road. So if you were a fan of that in the previous game, they're here for you to complete too. You don't get any cool character unlocks from doing them though, so I have no idea why you would want to do these. Also in Naruto's house, you can enter codes in the form of hand signs to unlock different things early, like all the characters, or more money. Definitely a nice to have if you just want to get all the characters outright, instead of earning them one by playing the story and such. And there are some pretty cool playable characters in this one as well. Taijutsu Naruto, Anbu Kakashi, I dig it. Although they don't seem to have their own unique ultimates, which I can't help but be disappointed by. Overall, you can really start to see the beginnings of a Storm game here. You wander around the overworld within the Leaf Village, taking on side missions, doing mini-games, and progressing the story. Not a bad upgrade to the original game whatsoever, and I'm ready and raring to move on to the third Ultimate Ninja game.
お前は一体何なんだ。
友達だ。
ナルトサスケ
ナルトナルティメットヒーロー3。
Naruto Ultimate Ninja 3 was released in Japan on December 22, 2005, and in North America on March 25, 2008. There are a variety of modes to choose from here, with Ultimate Contest and Hero's History being the most prominent modes. When I first booted this up, I was like, sick. They got a history mode for people new to the series, and then Ultimate Contest is going to be a continuation from the previous game, right? Wrong. History mode is the story mode, and Ultimate Contest is a standalone story they made up specifically for the game. I'm not gonna lie, this was disappointing. Maybe for some this could be seen as a cool thing, but man, I'm here to play through the story of the episodes, not some filler BS that they came up with. I had enough of that in the anime, trust me. I will say the one cool thing that came out of Ultimate Contest was this OVA made depicting an event in the game where Sasuke and Naruto team up against Kakashi. This was absolutely badass to watch. Unfortunately, I think this was only available in the Japanese version of the game, so it's a crime us fans missed out on this originally. Also, the music within Ultimate Contest versus how loud the voices are. Like, oh my god, I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you. Sakura, this music is too loud.
君とのラブラブルールを作るため。
Whoever did the audio balancing for Ultimate Contest needs to be fired. But anyway, the story within Ultimate Contest is that Tsunade is holding this contest within the Leaf Village, and whoever wins gets to create a new rule for the village. You have to go around the Leaf Village fighting Genin, amassing these crystals for points, with Genin holding blue crystals worth 1 point, and Chunin and Jonins holding red crystals worth 5 points. Running around the Leaf Village in Ultimate Contest feels like the closest thing to a Storm game yet, especially considering there's a Shuriken mode, and you can double jump, run up walls, and all of that. So in that respect, it definitely feels like an expansion from Ultimate Ninja 2's Ultimate Road. It's just disappointing that you're doing it within a story that only takes place within the Leaf Village that also isn't canon whatsoever. At the end of it all, you end up fighting Kakashi, who absolutely slaps your cheeks. But then you end up winning because you showed spirit? Yeah, don't ask me, I don't know. The ending is pretty hilarious though, because Naruto ends up being Hokage for a week and he absolutely hates it. Because he's just stamping papers all day. This is how Naruto would actually react if he was Hokage, not whatever he's doing frickin' stupido Boruto, Zoruto, whatever. Moving on to history mode, but I really don't have that much to say about it. It's nothing special. There's a little cutscene with dialogue that's fully voice acted, which is nice, and they clearly improved the face models compared to, whatever that was in Ultimate Ninja 2. The graphics as well have definitely received an upgrade generally. There are also some really cool cutscenes thrown in occasionally in history mode, so it's not like there was no effort put into it, but this mode is definitely a far cry from Ultimate Road and Ultimate Ninja 2. That one felt like there was a world to explore, and even if there were no cool cutscenes, I definitely felt more immersed in the world than in Ultimate Ninja 3, where the story feels very rigid and structured. They definitely put more resources into Ultimate Contest with the Crystal standalone story, and like I said, it's a bit of a shame. In terms of combat, they definitely changed up the movesets a bit, especially Naruto's moveset, and made them look way cooler, especially the way Naruto uses his shadow clones to fight during his combos. The battles have never looked and felt better to play than in Ultimate Ninja 3, as they should be though, considering this is the last game covering Naruto Part 1. I have to say, I'm a little disappointed that they took out the multi-leveled ultimate jutsus with this iteration though. I understand why they did it, because they could be pretty long to watch, not to mention pretty cheap if you were good at those button presses, but I don't know. I thought they were such a cool addition to me personally, and watching just one ultimate jutsu instead of 3 in succession is a bit of a letdown, especially because the ultimate jutsus are the best parts of the combat, for me anyway. Apparently there were jutsu clashes in this game, but in the couple of hours that I played, I did not get a single one to happen. I'm probably just gonna look one up and show it on screen because I know they exist. I just didn't get to experience one. They look kinda cool, and I like how they show who's winning within the animation, so yeah. That's definitely a plus for the combat. I bet people freaked out back in the day whenever there was a clash, because I know I did in the first Storm game. They took out support characters, but they were such a pain to actually use in the last 2 games that the supports don't feel all that remiss in this one. Yeah, I'd have preferred to have them in this game too, but it's not the biggest loss in the world. As for unlockables, I didn't get to see all of them in this one because unlike the previous game where you could just enter a code and get all of them, you had to do some arbitrary button presses on the title screen that I just could not get to work for the life of me. Friggin' right, down, right, hold R1 square triangle, then hold L3, R3. Oh, come on, you son of a... But the character unlocks do seem pretty sizable. Honestly, with every Ultimate Ninja game, that's been true. They even put the 4th Hokage in this game. Damn, isn't that kinda spoilers? I feel like the 4th Hokage wasn't talked about much until Shippuden, so this must have been one of those secret unlocks that only the cool kids at school got. Or the lame kids. But whatever. Hey, Naruto's cool, okay? Oh, and I also forgot to mention the Tanzaku Market. They had some sort of shop in every Ultimate Ninja game so far, so these had to be popular with people, right? I don't really see why, I gotta be honest. Did anybody actually use their money to buy these figures and different collectibles? I don't know, I definitely never did, but I mean, I was playing on an emulator, so just let me know down in the comments below. And finally, the best part of the game I had to cover, the minigame dojo. How many hours were spent in this mode, boys? Let me know down in the comments below. I logged 5 minutes. God, this mode is awful. Okay guys, so this video is getting pretty long. I think we're gonna stop it right there. That covers all of part 1 of these games. In the next video, we're gonna get into Ultimate Ninja 4 and 5, which covers part 2 of Naruto, or Shippuden, and we will also cover Uzumaki Chronicles 1 and 2. So don't forget to like and subscribe part 1 if you guys want to see me do part 2, because that's how I'll know. I'll see those likes and those comments coming, I'll be like, alright, I gotta get part 2 out for these boys. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in part 2. Also, one more thing, guys. Go subscribe to my Quick Reviews live channel. It'll be link in the description. I'll probably make a comment too. I'm going to be doing live streams over there, so don't forget, check the description. Go subscribe to my live stream channel if you want to see these Naruto games and more streamed live. Alright, peace out.